All right. How about that intro? You like that? You like the little countdown?
Yeah, I like that. That was really professional. I mean, we are really stepping the game up here.
That's what we are here. We're pros. You got now. Tell everybody what you got that you're talking on tonight.
Yes, I am now officially in the podcast game with a Yeti Nano microphone.
Sounds very good. It
Thank
sounds
you.
great, honestly. I'm using a new camera too tonight, so I've got my my camera that I usually film my plumbing videos with now. I recently discovered that it can be used as a streaming camera, which I tested it out the other night, and the quality, I was like, holy crap. So we're just constantly getting better here at Rule of the Galaxy.
Just evolving.
Forgot to light my I always light a candle for every podcast, and just went to Hershey Park, and I have one of the candles that smells like Hershey's chocolate. So
nice.
So yeah.
Okay, so are we after dark right out of the bat here?
Yeah, I mean the
flame right out of the gate.
The flame is just out of control on that, actually. But yeah, before we go into this episode of that is way the broadcast with the bad backdrop. It's in chat tonight. Yeah, Brent's in chat tonight. So language. All right, we're off to a banger start this week. I'm loving it. Adam Parker's in here. He's been in every week. He's been in every week for our little live stream parties that we've been doing. It's been exclusive parties, but they've been fun. I'm really enjoying doing it. Before I go into, you know what, we'll talk about it after the podcast, after the live stream. There is some stuff I want to talk about, but let's go over a quick recap of where we're at in this show right now. What if you could recap episodes 1 through 3 right now? What would you say has happened so far before this one? Before we get into it,
I mean, we've done a nice recap of the state of the galaxy as far as the New Republic and this group of, I guess, would you call them Imperial remnants? And
yeah,
I guess they fit into that category. We've established a past history with Ahsoka and Sabine. Some things that went wrong there, and we're trying to rectify that.
We know that Thrawn is out there. I mean, they've talked about Thrawn being out there.
Thrawn is possibly out there.
Yeah, Ezra. You know, we saw the hologram of him. So, we know where Sabine is at. Do you think we're going to start to see character progress in this episode, as to what's been established now? Do you think it's all right, we've established what's going on in this show. Now we're going to get the ball rolling this week? That's what I'm hoping is about to happen.
Yeah, I think that's going to happen. I think something really big is going to happen this week. I think so.
Did you see the clip they released today?
Yes, I did. I saw that this morning, and I was going to share it to the group, but I thought that one was, I don't know, way too good to be spoiled, so I did not.
Yeah, I mean, I saw the Disney Plus released a little, little teaser trailer today, which I feel like they haven't been releasing teasers on the day of these episodes, if I'm not mistaken. I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but I was like, oh, they're showing a 1-minute clip from tonight's episode. I'm like, all right, let's go.
Yeah, they've done that every week so far.
All right, I just been missing it then. I'm too busy shoveling coal into the hype train.
So much of it has been expansions of scenes that we've already seen in the trailer, so it does kind of feel familiar when you watch them.
Yeah. Well, I really have a feeling we're going to see what's going on behind the mask of Morrock, or however you say his or her name, tonight. I'm really hoping that's what we're going to see, because I love how Star Wars can do this, where it's this guy has hardly done anything in the show so far. And
right. And
everyone's talking about him.
Exactly. It's all anybody's talking about. Who is this masked character and who could it be? I'm I'm kind of on the fence here. I would like to see it be someone like Barris or Star Killer. I think Ezra's. I don't buy into that one. But then again, I'd also kind of like for them to just get gun smoked, and we never know.
I know. Can you imagine that, man? If that happens, I'm gonna be like, what the hell? I will be semi-devastated if that happens. So I am going to. Are you watching the show right now? Did I start it?
No, you did not.
Okay. I just it's not letting me hit play on it. All right. I'm starting it. We're going to start. Hold on. Live stream is starting in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You running on your screen?
No, it still says waiting for host to start the stream.
Okay, now I'm going to do it. We're starting now.
Now.
It would be like Ezra to be undercover, though, with like these remnants or Empire. You know what I mean? Because how many times have they gone undercover in Rebels? Like,
yeah, I can kind of see that.
those Purgles looked awesome last episode.
Yeah, they look good. I wonder where they got the plans to build this ring.
Yeah, that. Yeah, they were hidden in the archives on Scarif.
I like that.
Quiet opening.
Oh, we're being sneaky. Remember, we're hiding in the woods.
Yeah, that's true. Hui Yang in the position. What are you going to say?
This really looks so cinematic to me.
Interesting.
She said the thing.
She said it.
She gonna put the armor on?
I hope so. I love that Hoyang was just laying down on his back, like just fixed and stuff in there. Ahsoka doesn't like the vibes.
No, she's picking up on it.
Something's gonna happen to him. It's automatic. Yeah, I mean, look at that shot, dude. It looks real.
Yeah, that's a really great shot.
Like what you said about this being cinematic, it totally is. It's like poor Kenobi will always have to be looked at now
Yeah.
compared to all this stuff. There he is.
It's a shame. He is so good in this series.
I know, it's crazy, actually. It's crazy. R.I.P. Yang getting attacked in 2 minutes. No doubt in my mind.
Yeah. So these are the same like foot soldiers from the episode in Mando season 2, right?
They look like it, yeah. That were around her base.
Yeah.
I have one of those figures, actually. I forget the name of them. There's the helmet.
Mm-hmm.
Her blasters look nice.
Yeah, they look really good. Where's the jetpack? Didn't she have a jetpack?
She did.
Boom.
Oh. Droid fight.
Oh yeah.
Oh. Oh, shit.
Oh boy. Just got real.
Oh,
Nice teamwork there.
damn.
That was good.
Dude, I agree with Adam. Yang is rising up the droid list even more. That droid fight was freaking
I agree.
awesome, dude.
Yeah, that was good.
Awesome. There's the ghost.
Ghost Crew still causing trouble.
Oh yeah, dude.
Yeah, that's good stuff right there.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
Carson Tiva, baby, always finding his way into it now.
Yeah, is Trapper Wolf with them? No.
Damn.
We actually got a millionaire. Ew! On the floor, Mom.
They're running, baby.
Oh, yeah, we're in a hurry. Time is a factor. Yeah, this is going to slow us down. Do you think they just have like a bunch of robes somewhere, and that's why they just always throw them on the ground with no concern?
That's true. Does Sabine have the lightsaber still?
Yeah, it looks like it. It's on her hip.
Feel these. These feel weird. Feel like you know he's a weirdo. No. Well, no. I know you had a dollar.
Yes. Dude, that lightsaber looks sick.
Yeah, that looks really good.
I don't know why they don't play her. It's very aggravating, but she doesn't. She doesn't care. Right.
Jetpack could be handy right now.
Yes, it would be. Oh,
Yes. Hold on, let me.
It's just like a Windows download.
yep. She's
Ooh.
going single.
She definitely has skill with the lightsaber for not being force sensitive.
Oh no.
She'll be fine.
What? God damn it.
Is that like when Savage Opress died?
So Marak is dead.
He's dead.
Damn it.
So it's like the zombie being kept alive by Night Sister magic.
That's what it seemed like. Damn.
That hurts.
How long is his hilt? You see how much lower his lower hand is?
Mhm.
on it?
She has a very samurai hilt.
Yes.
That I don't think this is going to end well.
He's got a long blade too, man.
Mm-hmm.
Soundtrack is top tier.
They need to upgrade their Wi-Fi or something, man. This download is taking forever.
I know. He's a brute, man.
Yeah. Whoa. Very Darth Vader-ish fighting style.
Yes. On Sabine. Oh shit.
What was that?
She Wizard of Ozder. Shoot.
Uh-oh.
Oh. Damn.
So do you have to start downloading from the beginning?
I know.
So like LimeWire?
Damn.
Her helmet's still in the woods.
I know. Dude, this thing is freaking crazy.
Will they get there in time? Everyone's on board. Were they going to Admiral Hold'em? Pull a holdover maneuver? They're in trouble now.
Where is she?
The world between worlds. So who pulled her out?
Damn it.
Okay. Did I call it?
Yep. Damn. Wow.
Yes. For those listening, I would just like to point out that I'm not gloating or anything, but I did post in the group chat today that Ahsoka dies in this episode. And that dies was in a parentheses, not actually dying, but then that episode 5 would be her personal trauma with Anakin and dealing with all of that.
That's crazy, man. Anakin looked good too. He looked really good.
So
Man.
who would have pulled her out of her fall or from drowning, or I wonder.
Balin. I think Balin did. I think before he left, I think he did it. Then again, he probably just hopped on the ship, though. I don't know.
I don't know. Well, somebody would have had to have pulled her into the world between worlds. That's what Ezra did when she fought Vader. He was in the world between worlds and then saved her and pulled her into it.
That is crazy. Here's Brent. This is her cave in the hero's journey. Well, do you want to do a quick episode recap of that? Then Joe could grab this and do a podcast out of it. I'll just do a re-intro.
Yeah, that was a pretty wild episode.
All right, Star Wars fans and Rule of the Galaxy fans. Alfie and I just got done doing the live stream of Ahsoka episode 4, which to me, that was a freaking banger episode. If you guys haven't been joining us on Tuesday nights, we've been doing a live stream watch along. Every Tuesday night, we start the stream at 9:00, and then we do a kind of like a half-ass countdown as to when we're going to start the episode. So we all know that we're within like a couple of seconds of each other, and we have fun in the chat. Adam Parker's always riding along with us. We appreciate it. I see there's other people in here as well. Brent's in the comment section right now. I kind of want Brent to join. Brent, the link is in your StreamYard if you want to hop in there.
You've been waiting for this moment all season, Brent.
Yes, I need to hear
We're
your
finally there.
I need to hear your take, Brent. So I'm going to be keeping my eye on the little bubbles below in case you pop into this stream. But all right, episode 4. What are your initial reactions off of that?
How many times are we going to have? Well, I guess it can't really happen again, can it? That an Inquisitor spins the double-bladed lightsaber like that and does not fly. I just really want to see one of them fly one time.
I know. I really,
even though it would look ridiculous, just one time make them fly. I thought that was a great episode. Man, it was dark. I thought it looked great. I really liked the fight choreography in it. I thought each one of them kind of had a little message in the way that they were fighting each other.
Yes.
Man, I really like Balin's character, especially him destroying the map at the end. I really like that.
Dude, that looked freaking awesome. When he just got the lightsaber and put it straight through that, and it was just, if anyone's watching our live stream right now and you haven't watched the episode yet, we're talking like full spoilers. And this is a big spoiler episode. So as much as I want people to be watching us, oh, here he is. Here he is.
The man himself.
Brent is joining us. What's going on, Brent? He's shaking his head. What do you think?
I could have done without the world between worlds.
It was on the poster. You had enough time to prepare yourself for it. It's been months.
I just hope, I don't know. I hope it doesn't do anything else than just put her back into, or it'll probably be her way to get to Thrawn. I don't know. I'm actually kind of also slightly peeved at my girl Sabine.
She wants to get to Ezra.
So two things that come to mind. Absolutely, right? I mean, her love and her need to get to Ezra outweighed everything else.
Mm-hmm.
But Chopper was beeping. The tracking beam is still on the hyperdrive.
Right.
So they can still go get them.
If they make a hyperspace ring or attach themselves to a pergola or something. I mean, it's there.
Right.
I'm with you there.
That or that helmet, is that helmet just another MacGuffin? Is that something else that's going to try to, do they need to go back and get that helmet and use that to try to connect the helmet to Sabine?
Oh man, I don't know, because is it like just a piece of Sabine, being left behind? Is that her moving on? I don't know. I kind of thought the same thing, that at some point someone's going to find the helmet and give it back to her. That'll be a nice moment in the series.
I actually thought Hottie was going to show it to Ahsoka, and that's why she'd flip out, is because Hottie had it in her hand and thought that Sabine was dead. But she just automatically assumed Sabine was dead when she saw Hottie, whatever the hell her name is.
Which
I think Hottie is a good name for her.
That doesn't make sense to me, because I've been making this point with everyone who I've talked to about who Marok really was. They have this whole thing called the Force where they sense each other. So wouldn't she have sensed that Sabine died? I mean, they're literally hundreds of yards away from each other. Just like when she dueled that person, wouldn't she have felt that if it was her best friend Barriss or Ezra or anyone known?
So this gets into, okay, so I think we're playing on the idea that Ben sits there and he feels like 1,000 voices just cried out in anguish and vaporized.
No.
Alderaan was killed. So like people are sensing that.
You can make it a lot simpler.
No, but
the first time that Ahsoka saw an unnatural pilot who was unnaturally skilled, she reached out with the Force and connected with them and realized that it was Anakin. So she's fighting somebody with a double-bladed lightsaber. It's extremely logical.
Rebels?
Yeah. When Darth Vader single-handedly destroys Phoenix Squadron.
Dude, I can't remember that.
Yeah. They're on the Ghost. He wipes out all of the A-Wings. He attacks the cruiser that's with him, and she reaches out in the Force to find out who the pilot is.
But that was Rebels, or that was
Rebels?
Season 7 of Clone Wars?
That was Rebels, because he was Darth Vader.
Right. And I had the captions on. Do you know that it said the Vader theme plays right when it went to Fade to Black?
Yeah.
I'm sure you guys who know the music know it better than me, but it's like you see Anakin, but then it said Vader's theme played, so it ended on that ominous note.
Dude, right. I didn't pay attention to that, actually. I was so wrapped up in just like staring at him and also trying not to shed a tear on the live stream, because that's the first time, the first time on a live stream where I was like, holy shit, I might cry on this live on YouTube right now. Just seeing that episode 3 Anakin, it was like, I mean, Clone Wars Anakin essentially, but that's episode 3 Anakin.
That's episode 3 Anakin. That's Revenge of the Sith.
That's right where he crossed, right? Like that's right. Which is why I think it's also why they played the Vader theme, because is it really?
Well, I think that's going to be a big theme in the next episode when she has her journey through the world between worlds. I think that she's going to realize that there was nothing she could do to prevent Anakin from turning into Darth Vader.
So you're saying that she reached out because somebody was, but here's the thing, and what I was going to get at is she's in the middle of a fight that she's trying to focus on because the dude was matching her blow for blow.
Right. They also stared at each other from a distance after their fight.
But it's all about focus, right? So being able to wield the Force is all about focus. So if you are focused in the moment on a battle, are you going to be able to sense things around you? And it takes somebody who's
already proven that she did.
Was she in the fight with that one?
Yes. Yes.
I obviously need to go back and watch Rebels in that exact situation that you're speaking of, because
I completely get your point, and I agree with you 99%. But there's that 1% of me that shows her character when facing someone of that caliber instantly trying to connect with them to find out who they are.
But at the same time, Sabine is not necessarily the most Force in tuned.
But she is.
Right, but so when she reaches out to Anakin, who is also strong with Force. If she is catching the extrasensory perceptions, is she going to be able to catch somebody who hasn't quite tapped into their Force abilities?
I think so. They're literally right there next to each other, both in combat and fighting.
It's more to me. It's more the fact that I feel like she was focused on the fight more so than she was focused on the surrounding.
Yeah, and there's so many things they have to focus on when they fight. You know, the constant guarding their on-off button and guarding the on-off button of the person that they're dueling against.
The other thing is, like, I think you mentioned Vader style. I feel like that was more like Clone Wars Anakin style. Balin's stance was more Clone Wars Anakin style.
Anakin fought with the saber above his head like she started to.
He didn't have that upright, like, batters by stance. I felt like he had, like, there were scenes of him doing that in the.
Well, I mean, they constantly do shift their stances.
Sure.
And that was one thing that Obi-Wan and Anakin really like to do. God damn it, I hate this crap. It's not canon anymore, but in all of the Clone Wars novels and comic books, etc., the Revenge of the Sith novelization, they like to fight people in different styles to throw them off.
It looked like they both switched up styles. Ahsoka, and also I think you were talking way back when, probably on episode like 62 of our podcast, that the point and the thrust was more of like a Palpatine and like an attacking.
That was a big plot point of Heir to the Empire.
I love it.
And I will take that and run to the.
Yeah. The first time that Luke Skywalker and Mara Jade fight, he remarks on how she uses the point to stab.
Right.
And she says that Palpatine taught her.
Right.
Because a Jedi would never fight that way.
Right. So Ahsoka was using that style. But again, Ahsoka's had many travels and she's had a lot of trauma. So but I thought it was interesting that she kept going. She went very like baiting aggressive as well. Like, so like it wasn't really like a coy like Obi-Wan would be. She was kind of going aggressive towards Baylan.
Yeah, he really angered her in bringing up Anakin and the whole master and apprentice dynamic. I think he hit the home run right there, saying that something to the extent of how do you live with knowing what he became, and you didn't do anything. So as much crap as she was giving Sabine in the previous episodes, I think now she's going to have to deal with that baggage that she's carrying herself.
Right. I mean, she's now hitting her hero's journey, and we're episode 4, so she's got 4 episodes to deal with it. We'll probably see Thrawn in episode 7.
Hey, do you guys get a Power Rangers vibe from the Morgan character?
Yep. Like Rita Repulsa.
Yes, that's the name I could not think of.
Well, especially when they were going into hyperspace, and then when those rings started going, it reminded me of Zordon. Is that the name of the guy who would talk to the Power Rangers? Was it Zordon?
I think so.
Rangers. Yeah. It was the guy's like big head that would pop up on the little screen. You're not a Power Rangers guy, Brent?
Not a
I love it.
minute of Power Rangers.
Yeah. Ahsoka's fighting style definitely changed though too when Hati showed up and she was just like Sabine, and then she turned on to a different level. I mean, because she was doing that force block that she had going on, which was pretty sick, where she was using the freaking force on her lightsaber. You know what I would compare Balin's style to more so though would be Qui-Gon. Actually, I feel like I felt like Qui-Gon always had that high elbow stance. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I felt like there was somebody, and I attributed when I was watching it to Anakin, but it could be Qui-Gon. Somebody had that like baseball, like chest high stance.
Qui-Gon had a stance like that.
Okay.
Kenobi mimics it against Maul in the Rebels episode to bait him into trying his finishing move.
Interesting.
You're talking about the twin sons from Rebels.
Yes.
Okay, yeah. When he finally dies. Hey, do you think Morak's going to come back?
Well, I don't really think it's important that he comes back, or that being a plot point, because why? Sure, he can come back. It looks like he was made by the Night Sisters, so why can't they make him again?
Why have an Inquisitor lightsaber then if he's made by I don't get that. I mean, then again, Maul was brought back by the Night Sisters, and I mean,
yeah, and why is Balin teaching his angry little apprentice to be a Jedi? I don't really know.
Well, that's
and really we don't even know what he's teaching her.
And yeah, it's not like he's not teaching her the dark side, because he would have had her attack Ahsoka and choke the hell out of her, but he had her back, or sorry, Sabine, but he had her back off. Right? I mean, I think that's kind of plot armor also. I'll use Alfie's term. I feel like backing off is plot armor, is why Sabine's there, because we needed somehow. I think she is somehow going to be the linchpin to pull Ahsoka there or something. Or,
well, he gave her his word too, and he's an honest, mercenary.
I mean, to kill her would be a shame. There's so few.
It would be.
Yeah, I mean, he also has this level. I feel like he just has this level of respect for Ahsoka as well, which, like, obviously Balin was mixing it up around the Jedi back in the day. Like he was around for stuff. So, like I think he relates himself to Ahsoka because she left the Order. Like probably in different ways than however he left the Order, but
So I really liked his little line to Sabine about her blaming Ahsoka for her family's death on Mandalore. Did you guys catch that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I did. I mean, I just didn't really. I couldn't catch the deep cut of it though. Honestly.
Yeah, I'd have to watch it again. But he basically said, your family died on Mandalore, and you did nothing because your master didn't believe in you. So there may be some more Ahsoka Sabine backstory there, around the time of the Purge.
Interesting. Yeah, I mean, it's crazy. I feel like,
which again would be kind of similar to Luke in Empire Strikes Back. Yoda telling him not to go because he's not ready.
This is why I hate the timelines. But during the Purge, wasn't she part of the Jedi or the Imperial Academy?
No, the Purge would have been.
Because isn't so the Night of 1,000 Tears and the Purge, are they the same thing?
I think so.
So if that's the case, then you're talking kind of like in the episode 1 time or when were you? Because they showed the B1 battle droids and the Mandalorians saving Din Djarin, the Children of the Watch saving Din Djarin. It's our B2.
I'm gonna have to look that up real quick because you're right. That doesn't make sense time wise.
That's the biggest thing, man.
Yeah, Adam Parker says Purge was post Rebels, right? Yeah. You don't want to ask me anything about timelines in Star Wars because for me, it's just a big old blender of coolness, and I think I understand it, and sometimes I don't, and I'm okay with it.
So while he's looking that up,
it's sometime between 1 year before and 5 years after the Battle of Yavin. So her family wasn't necessarily on Mandalore, though, right?
No, because they were on a different planet, like an ice planet.
They were in the Mandalore system, so they may have gotten attacked after the planet Mandalore did.
Yeah, that ice planet is the reason why I know Sabine had a jetpack when Alfie brought it up, because for some reason that's an arc in Rebels that stuck out to me from when I was watching it. Was I remembered I enjoyed those episodes with Sabine's family on that ice planet.
That was also in like episode or like season 3, towards the end of season 3, where she gets the dark saber and starts training.
I know. I stopped watching that show right around that time. I stopped at a very dumb time, actually.
No, I mean, I think you're good. Like, again, like I just don't know how all of it ends. I can't remember off like plot without looking at it again. But all right, I'll go back to something. We're kind of jumping around. Adam Parker says his boy Huang, or however you pronounce it, is moving up the droid list, which, okay, fair. But doesn't he have a built-in alarm? Like, wouldn't you just have a trigger if you start getting beat over the head from behind and you're a droid? Wouldn't you just set off a beacon and a buzzer that's like, "Rah!" instead of him trying to talk and then the guy covering his mouth? Like, we're talking about what humans would do to try to silence another human. You're doing droid on droid and you're trying to cover his mouth. I feel like that was just silly, and he should have had an alarm built into him. As soon as he started throwing punches, the alarm should have started beeping to let them know, so they could have come out maybe 3 steps faster.
Yeah, or some type of risk communicator. They always have risk communicators in Star Wars. You know, you press a button and it makes an alarm go off somewhere else.
And if you want to talk about sensory, aren't all it seemed like C-3PO had sensors and could sense when people are around. How does he get caught off guard if he's still working? Don't they have a proximity sensor on him too?
You would think so,
right? Like, I mean, I guess plot armor and make it fun, show our boy throwing some blows, but that was hokey to me a little bit.
Yeah, right. When he had his mouth covered, I started thinking to myself, I'm like, it's just a speaker. Like, you know, maybe he covered the entire hole where the speaker was. You know?
Can he just make it louder?
I mean, 11's louder than 10.
Turn volume up.
I don't know. I feel like there should have been like some sort of droid alarm or proximity sensor. He shouldn't have been put into harm's way to where he had to throw blows.
It was cool though, because he had 4 arms technically, because he had those arms from the back that were throwing little, whatchamacallit, oh my God, what's the name of that?
But how about the whipcord into the saber slap?
Yeah, that was pretty nice.
That was pretty.
I think a Jedi and a Mandalorian fighting together is, you know, that's always going to be pretty good.
That was pretty Mortal Kombat.
Rock'em Sock'em Robots. That's what I was thinking of. The arms behind him punched exactly like how those arms extend, you know, except in reverse. They were coming out like this.
I mean, Mortal Kombat, get over here. And Ahsoka sliced him in half as he comes over. There were also shades of Force Awakens fight with Hottie and Sabine, like in the forest, cutting down trees as they go. There was kind of Kylo Ren-esque. She was kind of fighting angry and aggressive, like kind of in a Kylo.
Mm-hmm. She has a lot of anger in her.
Yeah,
flames.
She does.
Like angry teen. There's something deep there that I'd like to explore. You can read or however you right.
I'm
thoughts
picking up what you're putting down.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking tonight. As I'm like,
quickly explore. I was not getting into the physical explorer as some people made.
You were putting it out there. It's okay. Just
after
go with it.
Sure. Like I didn't think about it that way.
I was watching her tonight thinking like, I don't know what the hell Balin told her like to get her so pissed off about. Like, I don't know if it's her seeing Ahsoka and thinking of Jedi, and it is so odd because they are training traditionally. She has the braid. Like, it is odd. It is very odd because I feel like Balin, even though he fought Ahsoka in this episode, I feel like he likes her for some reason. I
agree.
know.
I think he only fought her because he had to.
Right. Yeah. He said it could have been different. He said but you made it this way.
Yeah, and she even has the headset, the Jedi headset when she was flying.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, why is she so angry? She's not. I don't know. I mean, I guess age. I always say that age doesn't matter in Star Wars, but you don't think she would be old enough to have any anger or animosity towards the Jedi?
Well, it's not towards the Jedi, but it's just towards life because she's mad at Morgan, mad at like moron.
That's true.
She's just mad.
Clouded she is.
Right.
She doesn't like anybody.
Which is funny, like to go back another episode when you just did the Yoda, I went back and rewatched. They like Morgan talked to Balin about what does the future hold. And all I could say is like always in motion the future is. You can't really tell. But he tried to like give her a reading on what the future was be like.
That's a very light side way or interpretation of it though. Think of Palpatine was dead set on what he saw the future being. He thought there was no other outcome than what he had seen.
This comment from Adam, I love it. When he was fixing stuff, I thought he was going to start a DIY YouTube channel. I'd be in competition with Huyang. I would try to align with them, honestly, because I can relate to the position he was in, being a plumber, laying on your back, going like this.
Let's do a DIY collab.
Hey, you guys should do a Stitch.
I would love it. This is how you fit. What's the name of Ahsoka's ship?
I don't know what is.
If you fly one of these, he's got a little tripod set up.
Slave.
You know,
called the Slave 2?
I don't know what the name of her ship is.
Like an actual name or the
either. Do you know?
It's like a Jedi ambassador shuttle. It has a specific name.
Sure. I'll take your word for that.
Because they're on the shelves already. It is a T6. Ahsoka Tano's T6 Jedi shuttle.
Yeah. I mean, it is Lego that's putting it out, though. A lot of it's Hasbro. Hasbro's got issues.
You can go buy that shuttle right away. You can get that. It has Morok in it, which his body is made out of green gas, so that's a really rare Lego. And then you got the Ghost already out there.
When did they put that one out there? Did they put that one out there prior to this episode?
I'm kidding about the green gas thing.
Well, I was just gonna say, so if there is green gas, I mean, that would be them spoiling yet another portion, and that's why I hate the merchandise coming out beforehand.
Well, yeah, that's what like this set comes with Huyang, Ahsoka, Sabine with her helmet on, and Morok, and then you've got the Ghost, which comes with Hera, and Chopper. What's his name? Jason Syndulla. And yeah.
So one missed opportunity. Zeb needed to be in an X-Wing.
Can he fit in an X-Wing?
Hey, we'll give him like a B-Wing. Give him something. He needed to be in that. He needed to be helping out.
I mean, Zeb's got to join up with them when they go out there, right?
Here's timelines, though, right? So we got Carson Teva, who we know meets up with him at that, like, in Mandalorian 3 at that outpost. Prior to Zeb, like, so is Zeb stationed at that outpost and Carson Teva just comes and goes as he pleases? Because Carson Teva was up in the fleet up on the, when does he go down to become the ground-based enforcer of the Outer Rim, and when is he? It's just, where does this fit in that overall Mandoverse timeline?
Well, it has to be after season 2.
Why does it have to be after season 2?
Because she captures Morgan in season 2.
Correct. Okay.
My hope was that this was taking place, honestly, like in my mind, this is taking place after the last Mandalorian season, which I know probably isn't true. I just wish it would be that way, where it's like
it could have happened before.
Yeah, everything I've read says it's concurrent to Mando season 3.
So it's all happening at the same time as 3.
Okay,
right.
But I'm down with that.
But my only pushback or my only question is then the Carson Teva Zeb, those 2 or 3 scenes, I don't like. I just don't like the.
Well, but I mean, you don't know how much time goes past through Mando season 3.
Correct. I mean,
in Mando season 3, he goes in like what, one episode or 2 episodes, he goes to the Mando secret planet. He goes to that tropical bar, and then he goes to Coruscant.
I mean, time slippage. Nick Shesky is something that is becoming a more and more harder for me to deal with in this space.
Obi-Wan senses that Luke is in danger and jumps in a ship and goes to hyperspace and lands like 2 minutes later during the chase from Riva.
I mean,
it's.
I know.
I mean, you just got to go with it, you know.
Suspend disbelief. It is Space Wizards.
I do agree that there needs to be a moment in this series that puts it concrete in the timeline.
I agree. There's something in it doesn't even have to be big, just something in the background that helps you kind of establish when events happen.
Well, we should get a pretty good sense of that in the next few episodes when Mando shows up.
Which he probably will with Grogu, but at the same time, you're saying we'll get a good sense of that when you jumped into the world between worlds, and God knows when you can jump out of that.
Dude, we're about to have some fun. I'm fine with it. You know,
you're going to see some really great stuff. You may not like it, but
I just fear the lazy writing. That is, I fear the sequel haters.
None of that.
Wanting to erase it. I know, but there's still,
they can want that until the end of the time, but if they're not getting it.
But all you're going to do is giving them and more fandom. Oh, there actually is a mechanism to do that. Ooh, that would be cool for those casual fans that don't know anything about the World Between Worlds. Now you're opening up the World Between Worlds to a larger audience.
Raylos have been talking about the World Between Worlds since Ben Solo died. Raylos.
I mean, right. That's what I'm talking about. The Raylos are now going to have more ammunition because now there's more people that know about the World Between Worlds, right? So now it's going to have, it's going to reinvigorate some of that conversation, and that just is what irritates me. I like it as a premise. I like the concept of it. I like it because one thing I do like about Jedi, and I've talked about this before, is I like that different Jedi have different abilities. And Ahsoka is the only one that we know of at the moment that can go into the World Between Worlds. Ezra got shown the way in, right? So her and Ezra, the only two that we know of, are in the World Between Worlds.
Yoda.
Because he transfers back and forth.
He talks to Ezra.
Was he actually in it?
I don't know. Is anybody actually in it?
See, like, that's just the lobby. That's just like the gaming lobby you go into when you die as a Jedi. That's what I'm looking at it as, you know?
The Emperor knew about it because he used it to try to seduce Ezra.
Well, he tried. Well, see, he couldn't get it open. He had trouble getting it up. That's why he had to go after Ezra, who was younger and more virile. Right? Wasn't Sheev courting Ezra to try to open it because he didn't know exactly how to open it?
I want to say yes, but then again, I mean, he's also really good at making people think one thing when it's actually the other thing. You know what I'm saying?
I don't put as much faith in the Emperor as you do because you have.
I don't think I put that much faith in the Emperor. I'm just saying that's just the way his character was written.
I refuse in my headcanon to allow him to have that much power. I could be completely wrong, but I just refuse to allow him to have that much power. I think
I mean, I agree with you. Yeah, there's a possibility that he couldn't himself get in there, but once, Ezra did, I mean, he pretty much destroyed all of it. So.
And again, that's stuff that I need to go back and rewatch.
So am I supposed to believe that Ahsoka was just thrown off a cliff and hit a rock, and that's how she died, though, and got sent into the World Between Worlds?
So somebody would have had to pull her into the World Between Worlds.
So you're like falling, and then you're just like, and you're in the World Between Worlds. You don't actually die.
The way it happened was Ezra was in the world between worlds, and he started seeing all these little pockets of time,
There was
things
a portal.
happening.
Yeah, there was a portal, and you could see and watch, like you're watching
So,
the window and watching the time.
yeah, the Emperor
Loki.
was tempting him to step into one portal because his family was there. He looked in another portal and saw Kanan right before he died, and he contemplated, could he save him? Then in the last one, he saw Ahsoka fighting Vader, and right before Vader struck her down, he pulled her through the portal.
Yes. Now this is definitely a toy that's played with other franchises, because you have Loki and all the timeline fun that they're having with that show. I don't know if you guys watched the first season of Loki, but it's very similar with the Marvel multiverse and everything that's going on there. And then you have think about Harry Potter and what is it? Prisoner of Azkaban?
Hermione Granger with the little watch band. But see, that's okay. So I guess my difference is that's set in a magical universe, so I can allow myself to suspend my disbelief. And it wasn't a magical, mystical place where she get to go and choose. She just turned the clock back and was able to go back to a different time. She wasn't like coexisting in a abysmal plane where she can walk around and look at different parts of everyone's life.
They were able to go back in time and make moves that affected their journey, though, which I remember when I was younger watching that and just being like, I don't understand this.
The Force is pretty magical myself. I mean, I don't think it's much different than magic. I think that's what Morgan and Balin were alluding to in the other galaxy, was that the Force was seen more like magic.
Yeah.
Like the Night Sisters.
And I know there was a part where Harry dies and he's at a subway station talking to Dumbledore, and they're both in this death place, and Harry comes back because he's the chosen one, and they all it's and all that stuff. So there is that there is that plane of existence where you can coexist, which you said is just kind of like purgatory.
Yeah.
It's Jedi purgatory.
Yeah, Jedi purgatory. I mean, it's I'm like almost see what's funny is I'm a complete dumbass and still have yet to watch. I could just go watch the episode of Ezra going to the world between worlds. I'm gonna go on YouTube after this and just type in what is the world between worlds and do a bunch of research on it, because it's the one bit of Star Wars that I haven't freaking watched still.
No, but D-Doc, here's the thing. You make entertaining podcasting because you have questions, and then the two of us argue about the answers. If everyone just had the same level of knowledge, then it wouldn't be as entertaining.
True. I mean, I just watched Guardians of the Galaxy 3 the other night, and there's a similar situation in that, actually. I don't know if you guys have seen that yet. I don't want to spoil it.
Get into the squirrels. I tried to get into Rocket Story, and I just couldn't get into Rocket Story.
Yeah, but to me, this is something like it, and I might be the opposite spectrum of view on it, Brent. Like, to me, this is something Star Wars needs, because it's like seeing it in live action. I mean, obviously it's been in animation, but seeing it in live action, seeing this happen now, I think it's a pretty cool thing, a pretty cool tool that can be used creatively, because I mean, what the hell are they going to do next episode? Is next episode going to be like a full Ahsoka Anakin episode? Like, that would be awesome. It really would be. It would be really cool. And I heard rumors that is it Filoni directed episode 5?
Yeah, well, definitely a World Between Worlds. Almost all World Between Worlds episode. Then,
yeah, I heard it's like a 50-minute like Filoni directed episode. So like who knows what they're gonna do with it.
While I do agree with the creativity is there, I fear the community, just like I fear the community on everything, but I fear the gimmicks and the lazy writing that can come with it as well. With great power comes great responsibility. With great storytelling devices comes great ability to make it completely go the wrong way.
I agree with that.
It's true. But one thing I like about this show is did my camera cut out?
Yeah.
Can you guys still hear me?
Yeah, you're good. Sound.
One thing I like about this show is that I don't know why my camera turned off. One thing I like about this show is that they're letting the moments be the moments. Like when Ahsoka's having her stare down with Balin, like they're not just making them go fight right away. Like they're having their stare down with each other, and like they're taking that time where like those are the things to me that make it good, because you're technically getting a couple more minutes per episode of like of pacing where it's going a little slower, which I'm fine with it. There is action happening, but it's like Ahsoka didn't run into Balin and it's just like, all right, we see each other, let's pull out our lightsabers and fight right away. It's like there's a little talking involved before.
Yeah, now he dropped out.
Yeah, now he's gone.
So in general, though, this was a really fun episode.
Yeah, it was good. I really liked it.
I mean, it was. I think Adam Parker said right at the beginning that it was like a 40-minute runtime. So it was right at like if you do an hour-long TV show with commercials, so maybe by 5 minutes, 6 minutes shorter of what the regular TV show is with commercials. So you're not missing much if you're talking about an hour-long drama, and there was enough action and intrigue to get us to talk about it for another 35 40 minutes afterwards.
Yeah, it was a good episode and it went fast.
Correct. It was like, this is like, so if you want to go back to Andor, this is way more entertaining than Andor was, and I will admit that. There was, because of the action, right? I mean, there was some bad fights, there was some cool Sabine Ahsoka moment. And there was enough there to let you try to chew on, which is what my last message said before you guys said I needed to come on. I just liked watching it in the dark and like reacting with you guys, as opposed to being on and not being able to hear it, stuff like that. But my last message was there's a lot to like and there's a lot to dislike. I mean, the lot to dislike on my end was my reference to the World Between Worlds.
Right.
But I mean, it was really good, and I figured you guys would have a bigger reaction when Anakin came on. Like, you guys were kind of silent when Anakin came on.
I was trying to keep it in. I was really excited. He's in my top 3 favorite characters. I love Anakin Skywalker, and I will die on the hill that Hayden Christensen in Revenge of the Sith was a perfect Anakin Skywalker.
I agree.
You can die on that hill. I'm not going to be there with you.
I still don't like Episode 2 Anakin, but I understand it more.
I agree with what you said at the beginning. Is if you would have started with a more teenaged Anakin and going Episode 1 being not young 8-year-old Anakin and make more a teenaged Anakin.
Yeah, my problem with the Episode 2 Anakin is that if you have to explain to me why a character acts the way they do to understand that character, you didn't do a really good job of creating and writing that character. Now, once you've explained it to me, yeah, it was like, oh, okay, yeah, now I get it. Oh, okay, I get it now. Still not great, but I get what you're going for. But it'd be nice if that would have been like organic in the film that I picked up on it.
Right. And I feel like it was too stiff and wooden. That's my biggest problem. And it never translated for me into Episode 3.
Episode 3, I thought it was really good. But I still get it.
Another one up for this series on Kenobi is the Anakin just looked a zillion times better than Anakin did in Kenobi.
I'll give you that.
But I think that was intentional, right? Because they were trying to make a 40-year-old look like a 15 or 18-year-old, whereas this one, which is a dumb decision. You didn't need to do that. You could have had Anakin with the long hair. You can make a younger looking Anakin with the long hair. Like that, they didn't need to go back to Attack of the Clones. Like, right. They were going back to his training Anakin versus this is like Revenge of the whichever one, Episode 3.
Yeah, and I hate to be that guy, but I'm always that fucking guy for some reason. They trained like that all the way up until they left the cruiser in Revenge of the Sith.
They left the cruiser. Which cruiser are you speaking of?
The cruiser that they left in their Jedi starfighters at the beginning of Revenge of the Sith.
You never see them leave the cruiser. You just see them flying.
I know, but if you read the General Grievous book and then Revenge of the Sith, they're in a cruiser. That's why I said I hate being that guy, but
Anakin technically never graduated, you know?
D-Doc, what'd you say? Sorry, I was being stupid.
Anakin technically never graduated. I mean, Kenobi was always his master up until he turned, right?
He was never given the rank of master.
Which, that was another...
given the rank of knight, but not master.
Right.
One thing that I might be wrong or not on, did Ahsoka say master when she heard his voice instead of Anakin? She said master, right?
First time she said master.
Yeah, which is like, she could be in this whole world where she knows everything that happened to Anakin, where Anakin turned into Darth Vader and everything. And then her initial reaction, even though she's been through her journey where she's a badass on her own, her first reaction was master. Like, you know, like that, like he'll always be her freaking, she'll always be his Padawan, you know, it's like crazy.
Obi-Wan always referred to Yoda as Master Yoda.
It's true.
But he was a master on the council.
Turned into Darth Vader as well, you know, like
part of the Padawan relation, part of that Padawan relationship is to have somebody that they are mentored, and so they refer to him as a master. That doesn't necessarily make them a Jedi master or a master on the council.
Yeah, it's real confusing because there's a whole thing of what civilians call Jedi, and they refer to them as masters. Even the younglings in the temple called Anakin master. There's one that's a rank, and then there's a one that is what would you call it, like chivalrous or
like Mr. Master. It's just conventions of saying it. So I think that there is just, I don't know.
We make too much out of it.
I think there's people that make way too much out of that. Yes.
Yeah. My thing is it's just like, after everything she's been through, with him, where like she knows all of the bad that he's done, and just her reaction to turn around and see him, like it was like she was back in her Jedi training days. You know what I mean? It's like that's kind of what I'm going for. Is it's like, I don't know. I think it'll be a fun ride next week.
So D-Doc, your fourth grade basketball coach, if you saw him, would you still call him coach?
Yeah, that's true. Probably would.
No matter what, like, right? Like, I mean, I don't know.
Well, if he killed a bunch of kids and then like turned into an evil emperor, I don't know if the next time I saw him, I'd be like, "Hey, coach."
I don't think she was saying, "Hey, coach," like the master, like that. But it was more like, "Am I hearing this correctly, master?"
Yeah, I know what you mean, but I'm just saying, it's like
I hear your point too.
Back into her old self in that moment, you know, with like she's back in the Clone Wars. Anakin's a good guy again, like, you know, it's like that's kind of what I was going for.
Also funny that she sees him as Episode 3 and not as any of the other forms of Anakin that we know of.
Well, I mean, that is the last time she saw him, except for their duel when he was Vader.
And, well, she also felt him in Clone Wars 7, right? Like on the Star Destroyer.
Right. Yeah, because they say goodbye right before they leave for Coruscant.
Who pulled Anakin into the world between worlds? Or is he just there?
He's a Force ghost. He's just there.
Is he a Force ghost, or is he really the Anakin?
I don't know.
I know. That's the problem. That's the problem. It creates my problem with Star Wars storytelling is it's non-linear, and all this does is create more non-linearity. Brain hurts, but I liked what the homeboy said that you refer to master. That's kind of what I was getting at with Coach.
Yes, and Boogie, I think Obi called Qui-Gon master at the end of his show, and I think it was actually a very similar quote. I think it was very similar. Master, like
Master Qui-Gon.
Yeah. Yep. So yeah, I mean, it's just like for me, like I it's not about the title or anything. It's nostalgia is what I was going for. is that she's just like, I don't know. I think she was just back in her happy moments with him. And Anakin always had long hair in Clone Wars.
Yeah.
If you don't count the cartoon, because that he was still braided Anakin.
Or you mean the first Clone Wars cartoon?
Yeah, like the actual 2D cartoon.
The first season, the second season, he had long hair. It's at the end of the first season, I think, is when he gets knighted.
Okay. Yeah, we're about to get down and dirty with some Star Wars next week. This is going to be fun.
Halfway point, boys. Halfway point.
It's a damn good halfway point.
Yeah, I'm pretty pleased with this series so far.
Yeah.
I felt Kenobi started strong and ended strong. I kind of felt the same way about the Book of Boba Fett. Andor, I felt was consistent all the way through. I will give it props for that. It was what it was, and it chose to stay that way. I can respect that.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, and that's what I feel like this has just been pretty consistent with just being like a pretty cool Jedi story, like a live action Jedi story that's drawn out over these episodes. I mean, it's something we really haven't seen yet other than
I would just like to know how this one looks so good compared to the other ones. Andor did look very, very great, but not to me, not quite as good as this one.
Yeah. This is one of the best visual Star Wars shows that have existed. I mean, Mandalorian has had some incredible shots and scenes, and I think everything in the Mandalorian has always looked really good, honestly. But
showrunner,
yeah, this is the best so far visually, in my opinion.
The COVID interruptions. I'm sorry, I'm going to go back and say that I think Boba and Obi-Wan had.
I give you Boba, but not Kenobi.
This is where if I'm little Dave sitting in the corner at this large table of like 50 people at Lucasfilm headquarters or whatever, and Bob Iger is sitting there and saying, "We're putting out Kenobi this year. I don't care. We're putting it out right now." And I would say, Bob, the visuals don't look that great on it. Like, this is like a legendary character, and we have Ewan McGregor here for it. So maybe like we should just like push this back a year. Like, it already took us 9 years to get to this point. What's one more? Like, I don't know. Kenobi should have been the visually best Star Wars thing on Disney Plus that we've seen. There's no doubt about that.
I like how Iger has a 1920s New Yorker accent.
He's smoking a cigar at the table.
Does he have a monocle?
Yeah. I want Kenobi out, and I want it out now. Print it yesterday.
Listen here, see? I'm going to tell you, see? All right, boys. I'm gonna call.
I'll wrap it up, Brent, because I'd say we did the show a justice. I think it's going to be fun next week. Do you have any final thoughts as we're wrapping up here?
I mean, basically, all I was going to say was what I was told when you dropped off, so I'll let you know. I really enjoyed a lot of it. The fact that we were able to go for another almost hour after watching the show, right? Like, there was a lot there. There was a lot to talk about. There was a lot of good there. I just am.
You're going to love it.
I'll let the creators have their time. I'll let them play in the sand, and I'll make my judgment at the end. I'm just concerned that it can go too far.
I understand that concern. I feel it. We'll see how we're feeling next week. Alfie, what do you got? Final thoughts tonight?
I really enjoyed the episode. Like I said, I've really enjoyed this series so far, and I am really hoping for some wild stuff to come out in the next episode.
Yeah, definitely.
I feel we're going fire and brimstone with this one, and Ahsoka the White is coming out at the end.
I like it. I'm on it. I'm
white. She's
gonna call into the hype train, baby.
Oh my
God. My final thoughts on this. I'm very happy with it. I can't wait to see what next week brings. to me, this was kind of like a meat and potatoes episode where we're just like, all right, we're getting into some stuff now. And there was a lot of lightsaber action tonight, which will always, get me excited. So this is one of those ones where I'm probably going to go rewatch it again right after we're done this podcast and just soak it all in one more time. And just so you guys know, if you're listening on podcast, we are live streaming these episodes the minute they come out. We've been hopping on here at 9:00 on Tuesday nights, and we've been doing some live streams. It's been fun. It was fun having Brent in the comments section tonight too. That was a different layer tonight. It was fun. Alfie's got his new mic. We're making moves here at Roll the Galaxy podcast right now. So if you want to possibly see a grown man cry next week, tune in to the live stream and watch along with us. We can all do it together, because next week's going to be pretty hard to do a live stream, in my opinion, if it's going to be what I think it is. I'm not going to get my hopes too high on what next week.
Oh, mine are high. They're way high.
Yeah. There might be an interesting watch along next week. So I hope you guys tune in for it.
I think any Prequel fan / Clone War fan is in hard to bring down out of the clouds level right now.
Yeah, absolutely. So, yeah, and shout out to Joe as well. Joe's taking a little bit of a break. He'll be back in the future. So shout out to Joe. I know he'll probably be listening to this and posting it up for us. We love you, Joe. And we'll be streaming next week again at 9:00. I mean, I can't wait. So from me, from Alfie, from Brent, from Rule the Galaxy podcast, until next week, may the Force be with you.